Here's your chance.
Okay.
Name another word for toilet.
The throne.
The throne.
All right. Welcome to Downtown Browntown. Downtown Browntown brought to you by Buckler Beer. Buckler understands the difference between drinking and driving and drinking. Next time you drive and drink a Buckler. Buckler, it's a good driving beer. So welcome. This is just the, we'll call this the pilot episode. I'm going to crack this into the microphone so you can hear the delicious taste of the cold frost brewed refreshment. Listen to that.
Yeah, that sounded really good.
Sounded good.
I've always wanted to be part of a pilot episode, so
This is
even
the
in the
pilot.
smallest way. So
Cheers.
I'm really glad that
Yeah.
I'm on a pilot.
So what we're doing right here is this is Shticks. I on the Brown Hour go by Corn, and when I was talking about developing the Brown Hour or Downtown Browntown, excuse me, I was having some discussions with Shticks about it, and I was feeling a little, I don't know if guilty is the right word, but just a little apprehension surrounding, moving forward and doing something on my own, which I think it's very important to say that the Brown Hour is not over.
No, yeah.
This is simply sort of like an offshoot.
Right.
Yeah. So and we came to this sort of agreement while in the Aerostar, actually, which you'll see later. Unfortunately, we're in Vermont, and the Aerostar has sort of a limited perimeter at this point. But while sitting in the Aerostar, I think we agreed that Shticks, it was only right, and the only possible way to do this was to have him as the first guest.
Yeah.
So
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for
glad
being
to
a
be
part of this.
Yeah. By no means is the Brown Hour. I don't want anyone to think it ended in a way that didn't happen,
Right.
and it's not over, and it's the Brown Hour lives on. I mean, I think what stems from it is just that
I think they have a natural curiosity, which I like.
Right. I think one of the biggest things is that, I think you and I are a little more experienced in scat porn than, at least in viewing it, than the average.
Oh, why do you say that?
You never stop making brown.
No, exactly. I think that's probably the best sort of analogy.
Yeah,
we can
until my
draw.
butthole stops working.
Right.
Then,
Which will be a long time from now.
Yeah.
And even when it stops working and becomes incontinent, perhaps there'll be even more flowing to talk about.
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
So we have two toilets set up. I don't know if you can see this, and we have a lovely Eiffel Tower motif, adding to sort of the panache, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
How's that Buckler treating you?
It's good. Actually, right before we started, I was just saying it tastes like dad. Like it tastes like an old, like a middle-aged man who I like how you said spend a little too much time on the 19th hole. Like this is what your uncle at the barbecue, this is what he drinks.
Yeah, crazy Uncle Larry.
Yeah.
It's got some good stories.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe a slight bar tan.
Yeah.
And he's cutting back, but he likes to. It's kind of nice though, because I will say, there's no real, for the smokers out there, I feel like there's not really
like an appropriate or like a definitive alternative that is proven to be successful. There's those e-cigarette things now, but I hear mixed reviews on them. I don't know.
Right. But Buckler, on the other hand, you're drinking a beer.
Yeah.
Let's make no mistake about that.
Yeah.
So I like that. I've never done a lot of television, but from watching a lot of Chris Collinsworth and Mike Ditka, you kind of, when someone's talking to you kind of look back and forth. You nod a little bit when you look at the camera, and then you look at them when you're making a point.
You can even point out a little bit too, like.
Yeah, sure. You can point out, or you can demonstrate to the viewer at home. So
Yeah.
I feel like we're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah. I think so.
Now, real quick, I feel like we should probably maybe just discuss some Brown things. So I don't know if there's been any real good happenings for you lately, but this is
Yeah, first thing I wanted to point out is that for the viewers that haven't noticed yet, like you said, we're sitting on toilets. After sitting on this thing for a little while, like when we were setting up the camera and stuff, I immediately, within 5 minutes, I felt like I had to poop.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really do think that our body just has some sort of muscle memory, and when you're sitting on a toilet, your body wants to poop, and I don't know if it's that the muscles are used to, like, if you have support on your butthole, then it doesn't want to poop, but that the fact that it's hanging down is making me feel like I should be pooping.
Maybe you should. Well, when was the last time that you
pooped?
You had a movement?
I think last night, right before we went out. So
it's been a little while.
Yeah, I haven't pooped today.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, so I could.
And you're usually a morning worker, if I'm not mistaken.
You know, my family, all morning workers. Me, I feel like I am a little more, all over the board. But one thing I feel like it's very rare that I get out more than one a day.
Yeah, okay. So you're very consistent in that way.
Just one day. I mean, there's days where I don't even get one.
Really?
Which that's supposedly something to...
Well, maybe as a sort of therapy, if you're not regular, you could just have a sort of a placebo toilet,
right.
And you could kind of just spend some time sitting on there until, the whatever it is, if it's a psychosomatic activity that's triggering the lack of, flow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... But
interesting to think about.
Yeah, and then as far as like other big, or any memorable events, this happened last summer, and it was funny because I was on the phone with a friend of ours. Actually, we've never hidden his name. I was on the phone with Shafano.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good to get out of the way that Shafano's name is not going to be sort of censored in any way.
Well, we didn't censor it on the Browntown.
Right. So why start now?
Right.
You can get pretty creative with your poop chart. Sometimes you can put little turds on it. Drawn on, and make it make it exciting for the kids to brown. And then some kids you just need to scare and be like, listen, if you don't fucking brown, we're gonna have to. Sorry, that was a big F. But that's sometimes you gotta tell them it's a big F.
Yeah.
If you don't brown, you're gonna be drinking prune juice at every meal until you brown.
Is prune juice like a performance enhancer?
Yeah, it's supposed to loosen up.
I mean, you've never heard that.
And I was actually out with a couple other people who play at Week Stadium.
Okay.
They were just up here visiting. One actually does live in Vermont now, but and we were down on the waterfront watching some music, and I went home. I was on my way home, calling it an early night, stopped to get a slice of pizza on the way home, talking to Shafano, and I just had to fart really bad. Farted, immediately knew that there was something to be cleaned up down there.
Right.
And my house is what do you think, 10 minutes from downtown?
Now, by cleaned up,
it wasn't. I didn't have poop.
Be more specific, okay.
I just knew that I had a good couple wipes, like my butt cheeks.
Right. It's more of a sort of
in the crevice there was brown.
Okay. That's very well. Yeah. Okay, I understand completely.
Yeah, but my butt itself was clean. I think I probably didn't even soil any of the undies. But it was it's one of those things where you're walking home for 10 minutes with poop in between your butt cheeks. So that's probably the worst thing that's happened to me. Pooping in public, that's the norm.
Yeah, that's a challenge we all struggle with.
Yeah, I try not to do it.
Come on and take a ride in my Aerostar downtown Browntown.
Just freaking graduated school.
Just graduated from Champlain College. Just curated an art show.
Yep, curated my first show ever. 2 weeks ago, went really well. Yep. There was a good turnout. Had a couple. I built one installation. There was another one in there. So it's a couple smaller filler art pieces. It went well. It actually got extended. The people who were supposed to have the show after me didn't get all their stuff done. So they said, "Hey, can we keep your show up for another week?" And so I got it up for a little longer.
Overtime.
So,
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Well, not to cut it short here.
Yeah.
Not to snip the dingleberry, as it were.
Yeah.
But what I was thinking is I've never actually I would imagine that. Not that I haven't farted in the toilet, but
I've been farting a little bit in here.
Yeah. How's it been going?
I did like one or two early.
It's kind of like the cell phone in the beer pong cup trick. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's true.
I'm not a physicist.
Right. Yeah, no, it hasn't been. There hasn't been any. It hasn't been sonic yet. But just hopefully, I guess next time I have to fart, maybe I'll just come back over here and sit in it, just see if that works.
Yeah, it's kind of the designated farting chair, I guess.
Yes. Well, the other thing too is that there's no water in here, so normally, I mean, sometimes you get a nice echo from farting in the bathroom. Anyways, I would think that it's gonna be more voluminous. Just better acoustics in there, I guess. Yeah.
Well, we were talking. These don't have seats on them. I don't know if you can tell at home, viewers, but I don't know how this one's not attached. So I'm a little. It's a little treacherous here, but when you lean back on that, is there any level of comfort? Assuming that you had a sort of seat to sit on, like we were talking about.
Yeah, I think if this was a padded seat, I think that I would enjoy sitting. Like, it's nice to have something that's so stable as like ivory. I would definitely want to sit on this for sure if it had a nice padded seat. I guess one thing you might have to change in the design is maybe having them a little higher, and the seat itself a little higher. I think in general, people don't really, unless you're pooping, you don't want to.
Sure, that's the lean forward, I think, is the proper technique. Yeah. Or so they've told us, with the feet up.
Yeah. You know, have you ever seen those stools
I've seen many stools.
that they're selling them now.
The squatty potty.
Yeah, and it's for you to put your feet on while you're pooping.
Yeah, sure.
So you're in more of a...
Yeah, I think it elevates your position to something like this. Simulates squatting a little bit more.
Right. Which is funny that like some person is making a ton of money off of what this could be used for. You know, it's just a household object that anyone has.
Approximate height of 8 to 12 inches.
Right. And someone is making a ton of money off of this.
That's funny.
Yeah.
There was some sort of write-up about that in some tech blog or something like that, and they were all reviewing it, and it got really good reviews.
Yep.
But again, like you said, it's any sort of rudimentary device.
Yeah, I mean, I think every all of our moms have stools and steps to.
Yes.
They all have stool.
No pun intended, I suppose.
No pun intended there. But I mean, I can always remember in my kitchen, there's like
there is
4
sort
of
of a little
just laying around, so my mom can reach up to get things.
Right, but it's so short that it's not. You're not going to be doing it to paint the ceiling.
No, but it's like to reach to the cabinet. Like these things exist already, but someone. Just by
a clever name on it.
Just by making a pun about a stool. That's what it should be called. Is like
the stool.
The stool. Yeah.
The stool. The brown stool.
Right. Yeah, and now they're making a shit ton of money. It just.
No pun intended.
Yeah. Again, no pun intended. All of these things though, they kind of anger me. Like. Why is this guy making so much money?
The frivolous inventions, or the fact that they're making? Yeah. Well, it's mostly marketing, I would say.
Do you mind if I ask questions about Downtown Browntown?
Oh, please do, because I don't know if I'll have any answers for you. But this will be good for our viewers at home to kind of, and for me to kind of flesh out what exactly we're doing on this program.
Yeah. So, my initial thought going in was like, is this gonna almost be like comedians in cars getting coffee? Like,
well, yeah.
Like,
I mean that
like a quick interview, back and forth banter style between two. I don't know if you'll always have a friend on, but someone who you have some previous interaction with.
I'll only be having mortal enemies on the show.
Really stern faces and just people such an uncomfortable really environment.
And at the end of every episode, I'll somehow bait them into stepping in feces, and/or rubbing it on their faces.
I think that
voluntarily.
That would be an awesome show.
Oh, that's like a revenge isn't usually my my purview. But,
But so is it kind of always going to be a little bit of like an interview type, shorter, like not necessarily like the Brown hour. I mean, an hour long, so it's going to be kind of shorter things. Is my what my assumption was.
My conception of it right now is shamelessly ripping off comedians in cars getting coffee, which I do think that I think there was. I think there is. I think that in itself is there's precedent there.
Right.
Before that show, it's derivative, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And that the main point of that is because. But it will be the same car every time. Maybe not every time, but most of the time it's going to feature the Aerostar, which is sort of a big integral part of the the show. But then also I was thinking maybe of like almost sort of getting into journalistic things a little bit. Maybe like the Squatty Pie ad might be a little bit of investigative journalism. And we'll kind of see what happens as we chart these. Navigate these uncharted waters.
Yeah.
Hopefully don't get swirled in circles down the drain.
And as far as content, then you're okay with kind of being a little all over the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it.
To make an analogy to there's a stool scale that I'm not really. I wish I knew the name of it offhand, but you have your
stool scale.
Yeah, it goes from your liquid.
Oh, okay.
At
first, I thought we were. I didn't know it was a figurative scale. I thought you meant a literal scale.
Oh,
to weigh your stool.
We're gonna go from a couple ounces to several pounds. Yeah. No, like consistency basically.
Okay, right.
So you're going from your rock hard deer pellets and kind of. Golf ball size hail, fibrous. Your Metamucil, dumpings to your, more soggy oatmeal.
I mean, all the way to shit pissing.
All the way to shit pissing.
Those are the two.
Yeah, those are the two ends of the spectrum. Yeah. So I entire, in every possible way, from in terms of, seriousness of the content of the piece, but also in terms of probably the quality, quite frankly. We're not gonna hit a home run every at bat.
It's true.
One of the good things about baseball is if you're really good, you fail 70% of the time.
Right.
So we're hoping to emulate that.
Yeah.
And we'll just kind of see where it goes.
Yeah. I like it.
So. Well, I guess without further ado, this is Downtown Browntown, brought to you by Buckler, a good driving beer. And
last question.
Yeah.
Will you be drinking Buckler while driving?
I haven't. Every time I buy Buckler at the store, without fail, the cashier will ID me, and then midway into that IDing process, I'll get an apology.
Why?
Because they don't have to ID.
Oh, really? So a 16-year-old kid could buy...
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because I thought they did have to
And my other question is it still... Yeah, I guess, would that be an open container?
That is really what I have to find out. And I think maybe I'll do sort of like an investigative piece on this.
We should just go walk around town with Buckler.
On a hot summer day, cruising in the Aerostar, the windows down, and a Buckler in your cup holder.
Yeah.
Not pretty good experience.
Right.
So I'm hoping that maybe there's some leeway on the law enforcement side.
Yeah.
But we just don't know.
Well, and we know people to ask these questions.
Sure. So, yeah. We know lawyers, and we know
Yep.
So we'll find out. I'm really looking forward to this. I really appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, and, glad to be the first.
Yeah, continue the Brown tradition.
Yeah.
So Downtown Browntown, more coming soon, and thanks for watching, John. And we'll. I don't have a good signing off line yet, so I guess I can say stay brown.
Stay brown.
Stay brown.
Yeah. I think I'm actually gonna poop.
Come on and take a ride in my Aerostar, downtown Browntown. It doesn't matter what you do. But it's only natural to have to make a bowel movement downtown Browntown. But it's only Bella? Come back, Bella. Hey there, Johns and Jones. I hope you've enjoyed the pilot episode here of Downtown Browntown. I know I sure did. If you'd like to contact us by sending us perhaps some research that you've done or a picture of poop, you can reach us at Henry Kissinger eats his own feces at gmail.com.
I think you and I are a little more experienced in scat porn than, at least in viewing it, than the average.
Oh, why do you say that?